Hello, my name is Andre Guichard, artist, collector, curator, and co-owner of Gallery Guichard here in Bronzeville. And what got me personally started in wanting to open a gallery is to fill a void of too few spaces for artists of color in the late 90s, early 2000s to exhibit work. And that really pushed us to a mission of creating platforms for artists and collectors to meet, multicultural artists, but with a focus on art of the African diaspora. So anywhere from the continent of Africa to anywhere and everywhere we've spread as African people.
And I'm Frances Guichard, artist, collector, curator, and co-owner of Gallery Guichard. And I've always loved art. Art has always been a passion of mine. However, I wasn't an artist and I wasn't a gallerist when I first met Andre. And I've always wanted to be an owner, operator of my own business. And this was an opportunity for us to venture into something that we both loved and be able to create something for the community in which we reside in now. To be able to showcase amazing art by artists of the African diaspora and to be able to help collectors come and find amazing artwork, and especially for young people to get an opportunity to truly delve in and understand the importance of collecting art or art by African Americans right in their own community. And I grew up in a neighborhood where there was an art gallery, and as a young person, I would walk to the gallery, just look around, marvel at the artists that were there, their original pieces, and sometimes I probably even met the artist and didn't even know it. But it was just really a great opportunity for me to be able to just fall in love with amazing art. And here I am.
I think with any new business, there's trials and tribulations for opening a new brick and mortar, forming with local jurisdictions for opening a business, understanding all those complexities, raising money. You know, all of those were part of our journey, but it was also part of what made it special when we crossed the finish line of our grand opening close to 19 years ago. And to have grown as a business with revenue, with people who work with us in the gallery, and also as individual gallerists and business owners, and continuing to grow as artists in our art practice has been a journey that I could have never imagined. And most importantly, how it has allowed us to connect with our own understanding of who we are as African people and people from Nigeria, knowing our own ancestry has been part of this journey through the art of connecting people to people from the continent and the African diaspora.
And I would say, you know, being in business, as Andre said, after 19 years, there's always going to be something that you have to overcome as entrepreneurs. You know, I call it failing forward. And if you don't fail, you never learn. And if you don't learn, you don't pick yourself up, you'll never move forward. So you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from things that don't always go your way. You always have to figure out how to get around it. And that's what makes you an entrepreneur. I think, you know, we've gone through a myriad things like Andre mentioned when it comes to regulations, but also when it came to the economic downturn, when it came to, you know, hiring. There's so many things that a business has to do to get past the hurdle and to grow. And we figured it out and we keep moving, and there always will be obstacles, but as long as we're prepared, we'll be able to withstand anything that comes our way. We know our SWOT, our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. So we work towards making sure that we keep those opportunities coming and those strengths are building, and so that we can continue on to make sure that those threats are moved away.
My journey as for an artist, a professional artist, in my art practice was really something I stumbled upon, and it was very unintentional because it was solely for the purpose of decorating my first home. And while I did grow up in a home with an artist, Andre Guichard, my dad, who was a painter and a sculptor, he did that for himself, but the love and passion for creating did actually connect with me personally. And I was always, as a kid, doodling and doing art, messing with some of his materials, and I'd have my own art supplies, but I knew I was talented and creative. However, because my dad did it more for himself, I didn't have a model of how you could be an artist full-time. So my journey actually went from decorating my home to my friends buying my work off my wall in my home, to me understanding maybe this could be something. And for 8 years, I challenged myself, if I ever sold more art than I made in my day job, I would actually consider being a full-time professional artist. So during that 8-year period, I honed my fingerprint of an artist and started 2 of now maybe 10 series of bodies of work that I've completed. And those were my abstract and my jazz series. And during that period of 8 years, I learned a lot working under different curators like Dale Washington, and really understanding the importance of sales as it relates to the business of art, and really became an effective salesperson of my own art. And then that would later evolve to leaving my job after I got my first threshold of revenue equal to my day job, and then continuing on as a professional studio artist, curating at the South Shore Cultural Center, and then later from there meeting Francis and my other business partner, Stephen Mitchell, who's one of our silent partners. But that was the evolution from corporate America, studio artist, curator, to gallerist. And now, next to coming up on 19 years, it has been an amazing journey that is just in full stride now.
So I've been an artist for now almost 20 years, and I have to say that I'm an artist because of my husband. However, my impetus and passion actually came out of my childhood, as my mom was, into art, and she also was into crafts, and she was a seamstress. So I would dibble and dabble and create my own things and make houses and for my dolls and things. So I was always very creative. And so that's what attracted me to the gallery in the community, because I really wanted to learn and know more about art. My mom traveled, she went to the Louvre, and just regaled stories about the art that she saw, and my sister-in-law was into art. So it was really just something that was in me. But when I met Andre, I saw this amazing artwork that I was at the DuSable Museum. Andre was exhibiting, and his work was amazing. And he and other artists were exhibiting as well. And we ended up getting together, and he allowed me, while we were dating, to play with his paints. And I call them play with because at that time I was not an artist. So I was, experimenting. And then as I continued to experiment, and Andre continued to help me to fine-tune my skills, Andre said, I love that piece. And so we put a piece in the auction. I did the work, and then Andre did a little wash over it. We signed it, put it in the auction, and people were fighting over it. So I was like, oh my God, I might really be an artist. And so I kept working and selling my work and selling my work. I would sell it in Florida. And then Andre said, put your work in the gallery, see what happens. It sold, and it continues to sell. So I'm so very blessed to have an amazing husband who's also an amazing teacher and very supportive of me being an artist and being a gallerist. And then teaching me the business of art so that I too can work with him side by side. In 2010, I left my corporate job and became a full-time employee and owner of the gallery. Because Andre and I are the member managers of the gallery, so we manage the gallery full-time. And in 2005, when we first opened the gallery, I was dual. I had my day job and my art job at night. And so after that, after leaving, the gallery just really started, bringing more and more opportunities because Andre and I work together, we work hard, and we just love and are passionate about what we do. And we hope that that passion flows over to many people so that we are doing what we feel that God has put us here to do, to be able to expose artists with collectors and be able to educate people around the art that we have to offer.
In closing, I would invite all of our viewers to open your mind to the wonderful world of collecting original art by artists of the African diaspora. And I put an asterisk on art of the African diaspora because in the Western world, oftentimes the art of the African diaspora is below the radar and not necessarily in the mainstream. But just like how Western art was influenced by art of the African diaspora, Picasso on his deathbed acknowledged that he was motivated by antique African art, which is Cubism. So we ask your viewers to take the time to investigate and learn about the amazing talent that, even though it's below the radar, it doesn't mean the quality is below average. And I would say just the opposite. You'll find surprisingly that the work is multifaceted, not just Black imagery, but Cubism, abstract, mixed media, landscape, anything and everything you can think of, but with a creative flair. And you can find this and more at www.galleryguichard.com, where we collect and showcase art and artists that will touch your soul.
And don't forget to visit our VEC page, which is our virtual exhibition catalogs. And it's just like 1, 2, 3. You can move around in our virtual exhibition catalogs, drop into the gallery, see the artwork, and touch on the matter tag to get the label information. And if you are interested in any of the work, you can contact us at galleryguichardsocial@gmail.com.